is what our end result of a post page will look like. You'll notice that we have some blue arrows kind of around the screen. Each of those is a link to somewhere else. So this is our end result, but let's go back to the blank page so we can kind of start building this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to do what is right there, and that's put your profile picture, username. So if you go back to your blank one, I like to start my first post page on a second slide. And the reason I do that is because your first slide is actually going to be your grid. So this will be your first one. So we need to go ahead and put in, I'm going to zoom out a little bit, that way you can see what I'm doing. We're going to put in a shape and a circle. So the problem with just putting a circle as it is, you'll notice you try to make it bigger, it can go a little wonky. So I'm going to undo that. And you select your circle. You're going to come back up here to Format and then Arrange. So we're going to be working a lot with the Arrange later on as we go through this. But the first thing on our list is to constrain proportions. What that does is it stops it from kind of going off kilter. Now, when you make it larger, even if you kind of go to the wrong direction, it will keep it a perfect circle. So I like to work with my shapes a little bit bigger and then shrink down, just because your eyes, I don't know if they're like mine, I can't see, so this works best. So right now, this is blue, but we want it to be like a profile picture, so we want an image in there. So the way that we do that is you're going to go to Style, still same up here in Format. Right now you'll notice it's in Color Fill. We want instead to click on that. If you didn't see it, Color Fill, click on it. You have a drop down menu. We want Image Fill. You're going to click Image Fill. Right now there's no image. And so we go to Choose. And we look around. You're like, hey, which one do I want? There, you can go. Let's pick this one. And then you can zoom in as you want. You can choose if you want it as a tile. But I have my image. So we're going to shrink that down to about a 124. We're going to bring it near the top of the slide. Now you have to go and insert your profile name. So you hit text, type in what you want your username to be. Mine's just going to be Miss T Outlier. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the size of this text to 30. And again, I'm going to drop it up top. Make sure you notice like there's some yellow lines that pop up to make sure that everything is oriented correctly, that it lines up. It's really nice. So we have the first part. Next comes you actually inserting your post, your picture. This is something I like to do to make sure that everything's square. You can just insert an image. Sometimes it takes a little bit more to make it fit. I like to at least use a square as a guideline. So we're going to do the same thing we did with our circle. We're going to constrain those proportions so it will stay a square. And remember, this is Instagram, so your picture should go side to side. You want to have that just a little bit lower than your username. That way you still have some space down here to write your commentary later. So I have my square. Now we can do one of two things. If you have a picture that's already perfectly square, we can do the same thing that we did for your profile. You're going to go to Style, Image Fill, and it will automatically throw in the picture that you used last. You're like, I don't want that one, that was just for my profile picture. So you just go back to choose, and then from there you can go and pick the image that you want. So like for me, I'm going to go to my desktop, I'm going to go to images, I want this cake, or maybe you want that, or maybe you're like, hey, I want this Gladwell picture. It will fill in. Now everything is good to go. So you have your picture. Next thing we're going to do in the following videos are insert the like, comment, send, and save buttons. That will be talked about, as well as how we can start doing the post on the bottom. All right.